Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/ChiroBusinessMojo. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle player, or MP3 player. Welcome to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast, where we deconstruct the methods, marketing, and mindset of successful business people and chiropractors from around the world. And now your host, Dr. Richard Day.
Yes, I am Dr. Richard Day, and this is the Chiro Business Mojo podcast. I want to thank you once again for taking some of your time to spend with us today. I'm going to be talking a little bit about a movie called Groundhog Day. This was a 1993 release that starred Bill Murray. And in this movie, he was stuck in time. He was a television reporter who was covering Puxatawny Phil when they pull the groundhog out and check to see if he sees his shadow. And he was a real self-centered jerk, to be honest. He just was into himself. And there was a girl there played by Andie MacDowell. Her character's name was Rita. And he was interested in her and wanted to win her affections, but she just didn't care for him at all. The guy's a jerk. She wanted nothing to do with him, was not happy having it. So he gets stuck in time. And each morning he wakes up and he is living in this little small town. And he starts to realize it. And it starts driving him insane. So he looks for ways to end his life. He hangs himself. He electrocutes himself. He steals a car and drives off of a cliff and it blows up. But every morning, without fail, he wakes up at 6 a.m. to Sonny and Cher. And he is right back where he started, living that same day over and over again. It's a really good movie. I enjoy it. It's got a lot of humor. It was directed by Harold Ramis, who was one of the original Ghostbusters, and he was also a writer and director as well. What happens is he finds himself living this day over and over, so he starts finding ways. He figures out that he's not going to be able to end it by killing himself. So he figures out how he thinks he can get out of it, and he realizes some things about himself, that he's kind of a jerk and that he needs to make some changes. So he sets out to improve himself. He learns poetry. He learns how to dance. He learns how to play piano. He takes lessons. And remember, he's got all the time in the world to do these things. And each day he tries out these things on Rita to see if she likes him a little bit more and a little bit more. Finds out her favorite foods, her favorite places to travel, her hopes and dreams, and these sorts of things. And when he's just manipulating her, the cycle doesn't end. He's still stuck living the same day. It changes when he changes on the inside, and it becomes very, very genuine. But I'm watching the movie, as I watch it every once in a while. I have my own little Groundhog Day where I relive watching the movie, right? But there's so many parallels, and especially in our lives. As human beings, we do live the same day over and over, especially as we become adults, and we are doing things not for the first time ever. We're starting to have the same experiences repeatedly. And this is very true in our practices. As a chiropractor, I guarantee you that you are going to have someone with neck pain walk into your practice today. You're going to have someone with low back pain and probably a disc bulge. You're going to have someone with migraines. You're going to have someone with a shoulder or a wrist or an ankle. It's just a lot of the same thing, a lot of repetition over and over. And so what happens is we get very comfortable in our routines. We've seen this before. We've seen these patients before. We've seen this personality type that this patient has before. And before we know it, we are stuck in a rut. So a great thing about our profession is that they call it being in practice, and that's true. It's literally true. We get a lot of practice at being in practice. And so what Bill Murray did in the movie was over and over, he worked on perfecting himself, improving himself, refining himself. We have that same opportunity in practice. So here are some ways that you can go about doing that. First of all, get out of your comfort zone, and there's some great ways to do that. Tim Ferriss is an author. He wrote a book called The 4-Hour Workweek that came out about 10 years ago, and he's got a podcast and a whole lot of things he's done, a cookbook, a workout book. If you haven't heard of the guy, he's going to be in the show notes, so I definitely recommend you checking him out. But one of the things he suggests in his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, to get out of your comfort zone is to start a conversation with 3 total strangers each day. So I'm challenging you right now, start random conversations with at least 3 people a day. Another thing, this one's a little crazier, maybe not right in front of your office because people will know you, but somewhere where people aren't going to know you, try going to a busy sidewalk and laying down for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. People might stop and, are you okay? Or they might ask you, if they can help you out. Say, oh, I'm fine. I just thought I'd lay here a second. It's no big deal, and get back up off the ground. Seems strange, but again, you're putting yourself in a position that's uncomfortable so that you can grow from that. Here's another one, and again, I recommend that you don't try this with patients, but you gaze someone in the eye. Most of us, Tim points out, that we're uncomfortable with eye contact in today's society. We're just busy. We're looking down. A lot of us are looking at our phones. But look at someone in the eye and hold that gaze, and hold it for about, until you're both uncomfortable. Now, if they say anything, he says that, I'm sorry, I thought tell him, I'm sorry, I thought you were an old friend that I knew. I'm sorry. And you just go about your business. And he also recommends that maybe you not do it with someone that could come over and just beat you down. So keep that in mind when you do it. But again, this is going to get you out of your comfort zone. Another one that I like is, he says, go up to an attractive male or female, depending on your preference, and introduce yourself and get their phone number. That's another thing in life that most of us are pretty shy when it comes to that. Just go up to them and say, hey, can I get your phone number? I'd like to get that. So he recommends you go up to him and say, hey, I'd like to get your phone number. And it's okay. You don't have to give me your real phone number. Don't worry. I'm not a creeper. I just would like to get your phone number. And try to put them at ease. And this one, it's hard when you say I'm not a creeper, or I'm not a psychopath. Maybe you're saying that you are, but he recommends just seeing if you can get the digits. If you can do that, and again, watch it if you're married. It may not be such a great idea, or in a committed relationship, but you get the idea. You want to get outside of your comfort zone. And this one doesn't have to do with a comfort zone, but I recommend you commit to reading at least one book a month. Self-improvement books are a great way to go. Entrepreneurial business books are a great way to go. We're going to be covering more of those in this podcast, some recommendations I have. But always be improving, always be learning, and looking for new ways of looking at things. The next thing you ought to consider is improving your practice. We've talked in the past about this before, but out with the old, in with the new. Can you repaint? Can you fix something up? Can you get a new logo? Those are sort of no-brainers to make things freshened up a bit in the office. Change the website. That's another thing you can do. And especially with websites, after about 4 or 5 years, they look dated anyhow. Things are changing all the time, and websites are getting slicker and sleeker. So it's probably, if you haven't done it in a while, it's probably time to take a look at that. Change your approach to care. And this was a hard one. But medicine has changed a lot in the last 20 years, and so has chiropractic. And maybe your approach is an older approach, and there's good and bad to that, right? We've got a lot of clinical experience if we've been in practice a while, but also our education isn't up to date. Now, we have our CEU credits that we can go, learn new things, and hopefully we are gleaning new things that we can add to our practice with that, with what we learn all the time. But always be thinking of how you can make things better and more cutting edge. And one of the ways you can do that is, if you're an experienced doc, talk to some newer docs. The education has changed in the school probably since you graduated. Some things do stay the same, but there's been a move towards evidence-based chiropractic, and there's been some instrument-assisted and a whole lot of things that have changed in the last 5 to 10 years, and even greater if it's been longer than that for you. So talk to some younger docs and see what they're doing. And younger docs talk to the older docs, and we've talked about this on the show. Go out and shadow some people, a wide variety of them, at least 20, before you get started, so you really have an idea of what to expect. But right now I'm talking more to those folks who are stuck in a rut. So yeah, talk to some younger docs and see what their approach to their care may be and some of the ideas they have. Get some new artwork in the office. That's another cosmetic thing. That's pretty easy to do. Well, there you have it. If you find yourself stuck like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, here are some things you can do to improve yourself both personally and professionally. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast. Go to chirobusinessmojo.com for show notes on today's episode, and jump on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review if you enjoyed the show.